In this problem, I will use the base block model to multiply the numbers 23 times 30. So I'm going to be using the analogy of finding the area of a rectangle where one side is length 23 and the other 30. So let's suppose that I want this side of the square to be of length 23. If each one of these lines represents 1, it turns out that this box is of length 10. This box is of length 10. That would give me a length of 20, but since I'm representing the number 23, I'd have to go 1, 2, 3 more units. So the distance from here to here would be 3. This is 10, and this would be 10. So this is one side of the box that I would draw. The other side being 30 units wide. Again, each of these squares is 1 unit wide. A whole square would be 10 units wide, so this much would be 10. Another 10 would put me to here, and then another 10 over here would put me at 30. So when I draw my box, it'll be 23 units tall and 30 units wide. So to find 23 times 30, I can think of that as finding the area of this box that I've just drawn. And to find the area, I need only count up the areas of all these boxes. One large box like this is a flat which has 100 units, so I have 100 units here, another 100 units here. A third flat would give me another 100 units, and then I would do the same thing for these 3 flats. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 units. Then to figure out the rest, you could think of each of these rows of squares here makes 10 units, which would be 1 rod. So I can count off how many rods are in here. This here would be 1 rod. This would be a second one. Here a third. This would give me 4 rods, 5 rods, 6 rods. Finally 7, 8, and 9. And since each rod is 10 units, 9 rods would be 90 units. I already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats, or 600 units, which gave me a 6 in the hundreds place. Then my 9 rods gave me 90 units, so together I have 690 units, meaning that 23 times 30 is 690. Notice another way to have done the problem would be to notice that the area of this square here is 30. I represented it using 3 rods, or you could have just said that this is 3, the width here is 10, and 3 times 10 is 30, and then I have another couple copies of that, and then you could have just saw that an area of 30 plus an area of 30 plus an area of 30 makes 90. And you could have done it that way as well. Because the problem you're looking at may have one of the numbers or both of the numbers being negative, let me show the 4 different variations in the problem I just did. The problem I did was 23 times 30, and we came out with an answer of 690. If you remember the rules for multiplication, if the signs on the numbers are the same, the answer comes up positive. Here we had a positive, and this was a number that was positive. The signs were both positive, they're the same, and my answer came out positive because of that. So likewise, had the numbers both been negative, the rule of same signs would still apply. They both have the same sign, meaning they're both negative. That means the answer will still come out positive, and it would be 690 because the rule is that you multiply the 2 numbers after taking the absolute values, and the absolute value of negative 23 is 23, and the absolute value of negative 30 is positive 30. The other variations are if one number was positive and the other negative, and there's 2 different ways you could do that. You could make the first positive, the second negative, or vice versa. The first could be negative and the second one could be positive. In this case, it's not necessary to put the parentheses here, but you could. And in both cases, you would get a negative answer because the rules for multiplication say that if the signs are different, that the answer comes out negative, and then the actual number would be found by multiplying their absolute values, which we did here, and we got 690.